It is hard to put into words like exactly what the experience is like. Like I was having lots of opportunity to reflect on certain patterns of behavior that were revealed to me through the types of questions that Jamila was asking me, and also being able to kind of connect those discoveries to like why I might be holding back on myself, or why I'm not necessarily having the type of success that I'm hoping to have. Since the session, I've just been very focused. Like my ability to start and complete tasks has grown because I'm almost seeing like immediate results with putting an intention out there and having, the work find me.
Hey guys, sorry about the beeping out there. I got 5 minutes with you. I just wanted to share a little bit about this day of coaching. It was supposed to be an online clarity call, but the client basically, she told me she'd be in town and that she'd like to meet with me in person. And I said, perfect. Instead of doing a clarity call, I already know if we get in person, we're going to need a full day, and let's make the most of this. And so yeah, she booked in. She's actually from Nova Scotia. I'm very excited to work with her, especially because there has been, both of my clients right now have had childhoods that taught them that it was not safe to be themselves. And so therefore, when it's time for them to show up as themselves, the programming or the pattern is that the body warns them, right? The nervous system's activated, the subconscious, says we need to stop when it comes to sharing ourself in order to protect, right? And when that happens and you grow up and you're in adulthood and you're 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, it really does not matter. I mean, as long as you have not been able to process some of those moments and memories of being completely shut down and taught that it is not okay to be yourself, you have to go into that space and you have to literally bring up that hardened, crystallized trauma and soften it and release it and let it go and allow that energy to be replaced by fresh, chi, creative, magnetized energy that essentially, and not just magnetized energy, but like this higher state of consciousness. And so last year or 2 years ago, when I first, briefly connected with the client today, I could just see like her energy is all over the place. And, I talked to her a little bit about focusing on this one thing, and she was able to do that, and she created and she was able to recognize and to move towards certain opportunities in her world, and it brought great results, right, just off of a conversation. And so now she's come back to me and she's really looking to create this thing that she's been talking about for a while. And in order for her to do that, though, she has to understand herself and why this is her soul's mission, why this is her soul's path, and how it is that circumstances have taught her to reject the soul's path, even though she feels it so deeply. And what usually ends up happening is when you're completely alone, right, completely in private, sure, you can feel the confidence of wanting to pursue this thing, but the moment it's time for you to come outside of yourself, that's where the block is. So yeah, I was looking into her chart, and you guys know everything I do starts with her chart, and sure enough, like, she's got like a grand cross energy scattered. You can just see exactly in the chart where that energy is coming from. You can see what her emotional tendencies are. And so basically I'm guiding her back to herself, because the moment you start managing yourself better, you create better, right? When you manage yourself better, there's a certain knowing of there's a certain knowing within yourself that becomes more and more secured or grounded within your being. Why I feel like the work that I do is more creative based is because everyone is different. Sure, there are some like things that like a string that kind of connects everyone. It's similar stuff, but everyone is different, and it's like a new canvas to work with. And I'm just grateful that I get to be the one to guide her. And so the things we're going to get into today, because I could feel her body, I can feel her, is just so many things swimming around. And she admitted to me that she hasn't been feeling the best. So I know, like, we're just gonna, I want her to say what's on her chest, and then we're gonna get into, just to ground before we get into the meat and potatoes. The meat and potatoes. So the meat is the conversational aspect where I kind of talk to her about certain patterns that show up in her chart, and then we will get into some more of the somatics, and then the potatoes is the trance work. So we are going to do trance work, not a dialogue with the subconscious, more of just like a subconscious travel. But her body really, 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 really needs deep rest. Because if she does not bring her mind back into her body and allow for that rest to happen, and allow for the body's intelligence to clear what it needs to, if she doesn't allow that, she's going to continue to expel her energy, leak her energy, and she's going to continue to be more frustrated and resentment with herself for not, having the capacity to flow in the direction she genuinely desires. So that's what we're getting into. I'm really excited about it. I don't know if I'm really going to catch much content, but she is going to do like a post session video that I will share with you guys. But once we do the trance work, we end off with like the mapping, the next step stuff, right? So there's still a practicality in this. And again, that's why I love this. Like, I've been doing this for years. Of course, like, it has refined itself over the years, and I'm just grateful that I get to do this. Today was such a great session, but LaMeia, let the people know who you are, maybe where you're from, what do you do?
My name is LaMeia. I'm from Nova Scotia, but I'm in Toronto today, doing this beautiful workshop, or session, I should say. I do a lot of different things. I'm primarily an artist, a screenwriter, but I write in lots of different ways, poetry. I run a surfing program called North Preston Surf, so I'm all about water and healing in the ocean and stuff like that. And so I was working with Jamila. And I'm also a doula and birth worker. So that's exactly what I was working with Jamila on today, just trying to figure out, not really figure out, but just really kind of bring all the vision that I had together to start mapping out my next steps, and also returning to my own body, because so much of what I do is about giving my energy to other people and listening to other people's needs. I really had to try to find my way back to my own needs, and I was able to do that today. So. Hello, my name is LaMeia, and I am doing a testimonial video about my experience with the reset day with Jamila. It's been maybe almost a week ago since I have been in the practice with Jamila, supporting my clarity with personal, professional, and I would say overall experience with getting back into my body. And so that was one of the main things that I wanted to work through with Jamila, was taking everything, as much as possible, everything that was happening in my brain, thoughts about projects that I've been working on, and partner, networking relationships, and business ideas, and bringing all that together to kind of see what my heart was calling for more, given that I had so many different interests and so many different so much involvement with different things that were all very much like aligned with my life, but I needed some clarity about next steps. And so I was thankful for the pace of the session, that we had an opportunity to take a look at my birth chart and started a conversation with some of those insights. Jamila was able to kind of give me some insights into my chart as to what she was seeing pop up for me that really did align. So it was kind of helpful to have a visual representation of the different energy points in my chart. And from there, we were able to, Jamila really provided space for me to reflect and bring some answers to the forefront through the questions that she was asking me based off of what she was able to see. So I felt like it was a really good opportunity to have the space to reflect on what was present in my energy already. So I didn't really feel like I had to search that deep for what would become the basis of our conversation throughout the session. So it was very clear that whatever energy that Jamila was able to kind of see around me when she tapped into my chart was aligned with what I was currently kind of struggling with, or needed some opportunity to clear the path so that I can see myself clearly. So that's kind of what we did in the session. So yeah, my feedback is, and my, testimonial is just, I keep saying, coming back to like thankful and gratitude, because I understand what it means to be a powerful facilitator, in the sense that I get to, create, as a facilitator myself, I get to create experiences for folks to feel more connected to themselves. And so I felt that Jamila was able to provide that type of experience for me. And I really appreciated the Qigong practice and being exposed to that. I did have some challenges with kind of the rhythm and the flow of it all to start, but I feel like I had enough time to practice within that session on getting the rhythm, and it wasn't about like being overly critical of myself at that time. So even just being exposed to something new and giving myself a challenge was like very helpful. Helpful in the way that I do feel like I experienced a deeper understanding of like the power of being able to breathe new life essentially into my I want to say passions, or like a truer, was able to get closer to the essence. I was able to get closer to the essence of what it was that I wanted to be focusing on. And I kind of like, I know that I was like I'm reaching for the words in this testimonial, because it's like, it is hard to put into words like exactly what the experience is like, but my attempt to accurately depict like what I went through, I would say, yeah, that I was able to reach for and find the truer stories, I guess, or narratives about what I want to be doing right now, like what's fueling me and what's hurting me too, in ways. Like I felt like I was having lots of opportunity to reflect on certain patterns of behavior that were revealed to me through the types of questions that Jamila was asking me, and also being able to kind of connect those discoveries to like why I might be holding back on myself, or why I'm not necessarily having the type of success that I'm hoping to to have. So I would say that a combination of the, physical, mental work with the emotional check-in and awareness building and, the physical movement, like all of that together really helped me to prioritize my own well-being in the moment. And one of the things that we discovered together too is that someone who, like myself, who's a giver, or folks who work in the profession of service, it is often that we're asking how we can support other people and continue to show up for other people and their needs. And so I was reminded that my needs and my emotional care is also really important. And I feel like since the session, I've just been very focused. Like my ability to start and complete tasks has grown because I'm almost seeing immediate results with putting an intention out there and having the work find me, or the new opportunities that I can say yes confidently to that do align. It was I really appreciated being able to kind of have a moment of reflection on letting your yeses be yeses and your nos be nos. And just being able to kind of have some conversations with Jamila about that. And yeah, I appreciate the aftercare as well. I would say that it felt really nice to know that there was consideration about how much I was able to process in that moment, and Jamila was checking in just to kind of see if I, how I was landing with the practice and how things were feeling for me. So I really appreciated the aftercare. I think one thing that did surprise me about this whole experience was just how much my body has been, and my brain has been craving this type of challenge or pull or call into, a deeper experience of what I know. I feel like I've been called into a deeper journey of understanding myself, if that makes sense, or a journey or quest, I should say, on unlocking new levels of self-awareness, and speaking stronger truths about where I'm at in my life right now. And being firm on that. And so I think, it just made me feel okay to to just level up, basically. It's I really value the way that Jamila has been able to listen to what it is that I'm doing and see the magnitude of it, and not be afraid of that vision, and not even gas me up about it. Just kind of basically acknowledge that she can see what I see, and is basically there and committed to supporting me on my journey to get there. And I think that it's, as a person who has big goals or big ambitions, it's really important to kind of have people who see it with you. I've been kind of talking about how much of an experience I have had with the reset day, and I'm wanting more opportunities to experience the Qigong practices, and have been given very clear instructions on how to continue that practice for myself. And so I do really value that I walked away with a lot of tangible skills that are going to allow me to kind of keep moving forward on my vision and my work. So that's basically my testimonial. I'm feeling, really powerful and excited about the next chance I'll get to work with Jamila, and I'm really looking forward to yeah, just kind of going back over the information that we unpacked together. She provided a really great breakdown and some, documents and notes for me to reflect on. So I think that's a really beautiful offering as well to kind of keep me remembering like what we talked about in the midst of it being such an experiential body practice. And yeah, I really hope to provide any more insights as things continue to come up for me. But yeah, that's it. Again, my name is LaMeia, and yeah, I'm just kind of doing a personal reflection on my experience with the reset day that was hosted by Jamila.